As we continue to move forward in our healing and clearing, we can look back on where we have been to see what we have learned. Because we are now into uncharted territory where the forerunners are learning about clearing low vibrational energies simply by experiencing them, and trying to figure out how to choose differently, we can share some stories of hoodwink and deception that we went through by negative entities that were affecting us. In this article, I am sharing 5 examples of deception I uncovered during my deep healing and clearing process. Some were observations I was making while observing my reality around me, and others were observations from gifted healers and seers that assisted me along the way. 1. Angels, archangels, and ascended masters may not always be of the light. We are in a dualistic reality, where everything is inverted to create a polar opposite. If there really are good angels, archangels, or ascended masters in our reality, there is also an inverted copy of them as well. Many of the true higher vibrational beings that are ascended, meaning of a faster frequency, cannot and will not communicate with the 3D realms. Many, but not all, of the channelings and connections with these beings are simply posers that bring through feel-good information as they warm a person up to complete infiltration over a period of time. The good news is that there are more and more channelers these days that are truly raising their frequency to be able to receive communication with the truly higher vibratory beings. Many of us are also simply learning what it feels like to interact with the posers by being duped, and then by figuring it out after the fact. We are rapidly continuing to increase our individual vibrations, which exponentially will lift the collective into higher frequencies where these false posers cannot exist. 2. All guides may not be good. It is surprisingly easy to be led astray from a negative entity posing as a guide. Once an entity gains access to our auric field, it can use thoughts, images, synchronicities, and technologies to lead a person down a lesser timeline or path. How do you know if you are being supported by the highest guidance? If everything is going great in your life and your health is good, then you might just be okay. Perhaps you don't even rely on guides and have not called anyone or anything into your field. However, if you have dabbled into calling upon guides outside of you for help, or have made an effort to meet your guides in the astral, you may have simply forgotten to call on those that have your highest and best interest in mind. There are many ways that beings can trick you into making contracts or agreements for them to influence you, and once a contract is made, your truly benevolent guides have to allow that being to be on your board of directors until you break the contract. An example of manipulation could be as far out and simple as meeting you in the dream state when you are 6 years old, while holding out a lollipop and a pen and paper saying sign here and you can have the lollipop. This is a simplified example, but you can imagine how easy it can be to manipulate a child in his or her dream state. The good news is that you can simply make an intention that Source or God help you to review your guidance team, and to state that you wish to tear up any contracts and agreements that you have with guides that do not have your highest and best interests in mind, and for the most loving and high vibrational guidance available to be put in their place on your team. Perhaps you are simply in need of graduating your guidance to the next level because you have rapidly shifted and changed. For example, when I first started my awakening, my deceased grandmother became one of my primary guides. I quickly accelerated my consciousness and awareness, and before you know it, my grandmother was telling me goodbye. It took me a while to understand that she had to go because I was moving beyond what she could help me with, and by her leaving, she was also moving to a different level in her own ascension path. 3. True grounding is not what we have been told. If you are not fully grounded in your body, a part of you may be sitting just outside of your crown chakra. This leaves an opening in your auric field, and if you are not in the body, someone or something else could decide to jump in for a ride. Being outside of the body can be caused by traumatic experiences or by not wanting to be here. Our first traumatic experience probably happened to us as a child, and that is when a part of your spirit literally jumps out of your body. As many other traumas occur, parts of you get frozen outside of yourself. Entities can also attach or program that frozen part of you, and if it does jump back into the body, it can sometimes exist as its own personality. This is actually how MK Ultra programming works. We are told what it means to be grounded, but there aren't that many accurate teachings telling you how to effectively ground. It is not good enough just to go outside and put your feet on the ground in order to be fully present and in control of your body. After astral traveling or remote viewing, being shocked outside of the body, sleeping, meditating, and being high on alcohol or drugs, etc., one has to actually imagine and intend to clear the body and energy fields of all negative entities and energies, pull pieces and parts of you back into your body, and shut the crown chakra, or a door. Yes, walking out in nature is helpful to balance you, but it does not actually center and ground you, aligning your emotional, spiritual, etheric, and mental fields with the physical body. True grounding and centering can be done anywhere, but doing your intentions outdoors in nature or in water can facilitate the process. 4. Not all people are real, or many real people are infiltrated. This is a multifaceted subject, but in general it can be compared to the movie The Matrix, where we are shown the many people walking down the street in a crowded city that can be infiltrated by Agent Smith entities. Some of the people in our reality are like background people in a play, meaning that they are biological entities with false souls and an artificial spirit powering the body. As we are actors in a play, learning and having experiences, we have a collective background that uses background actors to run out the storylines. It is very difficult to tell the real, spirited source beings from the background people if you are not aware of their actions, and if you cannot sense energy or psychically see the difference. Unfortunately, some people that seem to be robotic or not all there, are actually real soul people that have most of their spirit dangling outside of their crown chakra as mentioned before, which allows for other entities to jump in and run their bodies. These entities can jump in and out of people to trigger you in order to siphon energy. Many times they use the people closest to you and you can become very hurt and sad. In fact, most people on the planet can use a good old-fashioned exorcism. The good news is that many people are waking up and getting energy healings and clearings, or better yet, they are learning to clear themselves and cut the cords and contracts that allow any entities to enter their auric field. Overall on the planet, the astral entities or archons are also being cleared out of the collective on a massive scale. 5. Not all of the thoughts I have are mine. This also ties into having infiltration from entities that do not have your best interests in mind, as a method of control and energy siphoning. You may have a thought that is dropped into your awareness that was purposefully placed there to cause you to make a decision that is not on your highest and best timeline. As a part of the work of being responsible for your thoughts, actions, and deeds, it's important to always ponder whether what you are thinking is of a high vibration as you act upon that thought or allow it to control your actions. A negative thought would be something based in a fear vibration such as jealousy, greed, spite, lack, or even sadness that is unfounded. If you have an abundance of these thoughts and are spiraling in your head, an energy healing or clearing may be just what you need. Methods used to infiltrate our thoughts stem from mind control programming through advertising and extremely low frequencies, and trauma-induced situations that open up our auric field. Although this list is not complete, these are some of the most shocking things that I have realized as I have stumbled through my deep healing and clearing sessions. Even though it may seem like we will never get through the layers of awakening and awareness because of the deception that is all around us, there does come a time where you learn to see through these things and you learn not to be so gullible. This mostly happens through having it happen to you, But if we share this information with others, maybe we can save some people from having to go through a lot of heartache. Oftentimes we may not be able to clear someone else, but by clearing ourselves and unplugging from the matrix, we are going to help others through the resonance field of raising our vibration. This will affect those closest around us, causing the fleas to jump off of them as they will not be able to be in our presence, and it also helps the collective by starving the matrix of energy, and moving it towards shifting the collective to a higher timeline where there are less and less dark energies and entities.